Hi, it's Alan Milstein, Chairman of the RPSA here. I hope you are doing really well today. I thought I would take a minute or two just to jump in and have a quick chat with you about some of the things we've been seeing on Facebook in the last couple of days, particularly talking about different levels of inspection and how many surveys you can do in a day. And there's a lot of debate about this and there will be lots of different opinions. I can only give you my opinion. So anyway, here's what I think. Firstly, in terms of inspections. Now, I came from outside this industry, so I didn't grow up with the sort of traditional type of level 1, level 2, level 3 approach to doing surveys. And it just strikes me that if somebody is employing me to do a survey, they're employing me as a professional and my job to do as professional and thorough a job as I can. And therefore, I will do a full and thorough inspection on every occasion. We do have to bear in mind that the average person in this country will move home once every 23 years. So for the vast majority of our clients, they have no experience of surveys at all. They have got no idea what is or what isn't included. And I just think that if we don't include everything, then I think we risk disappointment with our client. And I know we can say, oh, well, that's all right, it's in the terms and conditions. We know they're not going to read those, are they? Nobody does. You don't, I don't, they won't. And so I think it's all about, trying to please and delight our client as much as we can. So my approach is, as with the RPSA guidance, the RPSA survey inspection and reporting standards, is that we do a full and thorough inspection on every occasion. So we would open every window that we can reasonably open. We would switch on every tap that we can reach. We would lift up the drain covers, flush the toilets through, watch water go through them, etc. Now I know that the RPSA standards are not the only standards. We've of course got the RICS home survey standards, and they describe level 1, level 2, level 3 inspections. And so with a level 2 inspection, for example, you would open one window on each floor and one window on each, one window of each type. And of course that may be only one window on each floor. And then with the drains, you would lift the inspection chambers, but you're not required to watch water flush through them. Now it's fair to say that the home survey standards are described as being the minimum. And so I'm sure that most of you watching this would probably go over and above that. But then if we're going over and above that, why don't we start from the point of view of telling our client we're going to do everything? And so I think that, make it simple for people. And I do think that we need to try and keep things as simple as possible, because we know that our client is unfamiliar with the processes that we're doing. And I just think that, that's what somebody would expect. They'd expect you to be thorough. It's like if I take my car in for service, I don't expect them to give it back to me and say, we checked one of the tyres, but we didn't check that the other tyres, or the other 3 tyres are okay. Or we checked one of the spark plugs, we didn't check that the other 3 spark plugs were fine. I would certainly expect them to check all the tyres and all the spark plugs. Why wouldn't I? They're doing the service. They're the professionals. That's what I would expect. And I do think that it's very much the same with us. So for starters, for me, there is only one type of inspection that we would do on any property, and that is a full and thorough inspection. Now, of course, then there comes the report. Again, in my world, the report is simple as well. If it's a simple property, then it's going to be a simpler report, a home survey report. If it's a more complicated property, well, it's going to be a more complicated report. It's a building survey. And so I don't think it's rocket science. I think it's really a simple proposition for people. And I do think, again, because we are dealing with clients who are unfamiliar with our process, making it really, really simple and just saying, well, it's that type of property, that's the type of report it needs, and we'll do a full and thorough inspection no matter what, then everybody can understand that. And I think we avoid that risk of disappointing people. But then, of course, if we're saying we're going to do a full and thorough inspection on every occasion, that's going to take us a bit longer. Personally, I'm probably looking at 2.5 to 3 hours minimum for any property, which means then that I'm going to struggle to do 2 in a day. I also personally, again, don't think that writing a survey on site is the right way to go. I would use the on-site time to gather data. So I'll use photographs, notes, etc. Then I will come back to the office and sort through that data to construct my report. Now people can say, well, okay, there's technology which can help us create the report on site, and may well be the case. But even then, if we're spending 2.5 to 3 hours doing the inspection, then we've still got to do some tweaking to that report that comes out of it. to do 2 of those in a day is still going to be a struggle, unless you're working till 10 o'clock at night. So, I think on balance, for me, I would much rather do one really good, thorough survey a day, charge a bit more for it. And I don't think we should be apologetic about charging premium prices, and make sure that then we do a really good job that our client is going to be happy with. So those are my thoughts on that. I do think the other thing to consider, though, of course, we've all been thinking very much about the recent case against the surveyor Richard Large. I think first thing to say is that the circumstances around that particular judgment were so exceptional in the extreme that I don't think we should in any way worry about it or worry that we are going to be in that position. It is highly, highly unlikely that those circumstances will be repeated. But I do think that we should learn lessons from it. And I think the lesson that we learn best of all is to be as thorough and complete as possible in the way we approach our job. And that's why, again, I think that doing a full and thorough inspection, spending time on site, making sure we really understand that property, making sure we've really been thorough in our inspection, is the best way that we can avoid the risk of claims and complaints afterwards. So that's my thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think. So best place is the RPSA Facebook and LinkedIn forum groups. So that's Residential Property Surveyors Network, Residential Property Surveyors Network. Jump on there. If you're not a member already, you can sign up. We do welcome everybody. We welcome debate. We're not going to stifle anybody for having an opinion. As long as you're not abusive or rude or discriminatory or anything like that, then you are welcome to put your views. And I ask everybody, don't be rude in response. Consider that is somebody else's opinion, but you are welcome to join in and let's have a debate about these things. So I look forward to seeing you over there. Hope you have a great day and catch up with you again soon. Bye for now.